Listen to those ears. Yes.
Tracks.
I don't know, man. I don't even know if it'd be better there because when we were driving back, I thought I really just kind of want to find like we need like an alley or something. Like maybe there's an alley or someplace over there that's out of the wind. You know what I'm saying? So where we can just have something in the background and like.
Yeah. Sleep right up in here, back in here. So we stay away from the highway, stay away from the cars. So nobody can see us, you know what I mean? It was me and my ex-wife had a bus line that was right here too. So we just hop on, hop off and go up here and do our thing. I've been to prison 4 times in my life. I've OD'd 7 times. By all rights, I should be dead. I shouldn't be here filming this. I shouldn't be here saying any of this. But like I said, the good Lord had different plans for me. My name is Scott J. Randall, and this is my story. I was raised up in a alcoholic home where chaos was my normal. My mom drank, every night. That's how she coped with about everything. She was separated from my dad. I never really got to know my father like that, not till a little bit later on in life. I struggled as a child. I had a speech impediment, so I was constantly made fun of, which definitely hurt my self-esteem. I was even sexually molested as a child, which definitely made me hold on to shame that I had, I shouldn't have been holding on to. It wasn't until I was about 13 years old, had a brother. He broke up with his girlfriend. He took a whole bunch of pills and he committed suicide. Wasn't like a couple months later, I had my half brother. He was down in the basement huffing propane with some of his buddies and lit a cigarette, and it blew out the whole basement. He had 97% of his body burned, 2nd and 3rd degree burns. So, at the time, my mom, she ended up going to a psych ward, and I took to the streets. And I remember the first party I went to that I had drank for the first time, and as soon as I started drinking, I felt the insecurities and the hurt and everything I was bearing inside just come off of me, and I was hooked. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I've been searching for this for quite some time. Like, if I didn't have to feel that, then I didn't want to have to feel it. So at age 13, I started drinking to a point to where I would black out every time I drink. I just didn't drink to have a social time. I drank to pass out. Wasn't till later on in life. I was working at a job, and I got hurt at work. Had this forklift that pinned me up against this machine, threw my L3, 4, and 5 disc out in my back. Doctor put me on Oxycontins, and man, that's all she wrote. Like, I got highly addicted to oxys, and eventually he ended up retiring, and I was pulled off of him, and then I started shooting black Mexican tar. And just from tar to heroin, I was pretty much struggling with that for about 10, 15 years. in and out of rehabs, in and out of jails, in and out of like prison. Like I said, then got to a point I was ODing. Wasn't until I finally, it's my 4th prison number, I came out, and I got 3 kids, beautiful kids, and they was struggling with me not being here at home because I'm either in jail or I'm off chasing a high. Then I promised them the world. I promised them I wasn't going to mess up anymore, that I was done, and I meant it with all my heart. And it wasn't 2 months from making that promise that I found myself once again going to the dope boy's house, copping some dope because I got into it with a girlfriend, and we broke up, and I went and copped some dope, OD'd, woke up in the county jail, and it was bad. Like the guilt and the shame I had on my heart for breaking that promise, that I knew I just couldn't pick up that phone and tell my kids I just broke that promise. Everything led to this point that I'd never in a million years think that I would think about committing suicide like my brother did. But I was feeling it. Like I was just tapped out in life. I was done. I just didn't want to live anymore because I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it right, regardless. And that's when I finally hit my knees and I cried out to God. And I told him, I was like, hey, I believe you, God. I believe you sent your son, for me. I believe in the crucifixion. I believe, in the resurrection. Sorry for the things I've done. Sorry for the people I've hurt. But I just can't do this anymore. I mean, I had that. Yeah, this was the end. Like I was just done. I was like, unless you just, you do something right here, right now. Like I was going to hang myself in that cell. It's not that I can't just do the time, but I just can't face the music anymore. I can't even face myself. And what happened next was nothing short of a miracle. God came into that cell, and he took every ounce of shame and guilt and sin right off my heart, like it wasn't even there. And it was crazy because I'm sitting in a jail cell, and for the first time I truly felt what freedom felt like. And it just, the reality just didn't line up, because how could I feel so free and be locked up? Like I really had to actually get up off my knees from that prayer and start touching the wall to make sure I just wasn't dreaming, or this, because the reality just wasn't lining up, locked up or free. It was crazy because I can remember all the things I had done in my past. I remember all the hearts I've hurt, and I remember, the tears I put on my kids' face, by my actions, but yet I don't feel guilty for it. And I really felt at that time, I was like, I don't deserve to feel like this. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. And I started beating myself up over it real quick, and it was like a soft whisper to my heart that the Lord said, that he paid that penalty. I just had to believe him and confess with my mouth and believe in my heart that, and that was the day of my true salvation. It didn't get easier by any means, but it definitely gave me a hope. Definitely, with all my heart now, I believe. I didn't get to be broken overnight. It's been a whole life of just brokenness, and with my thoughts and my core beliefs on the things that I thought were true. God did for me is He purified my heart and took away all my sins. But my mind wasn't renewed. My mind wasn't ready. My mind still was, like I said, it just wasn't renewed. It's been a process ever since then. I've relapsed. I've even died. I even went back to drugs even after that. With my spiritual walk, just the fact of dealing with my dad and the abandonment issues I have with him, I brought that into how I view God. And I thought, if I just mess up, He ain't going to forgive me. He can't keep forgiving me. You know what I mean? But that's so far from the truth. He's been faithful there this whole time, walking with me this whole time. And it's been a process. You know what I mean? It's each relapse got a little bit shorter. Each relapse, what he did for me in that cell was give me a heart to know Him, that He is God. And I think that's Jeremiah 24:7.
Yeah. Wait, what the heck's that noise? I thought they were coming from over here. Let's see. This looks like a pretty clean place.
Yeah.
Why didn't you come here, man?
I think I did, actually. I think I shot Joe moving here. I wasn't going to say that to him. Cicadas around everywhere.
You ain't kidding, man. I'd tell you to sit, but I don't know if you want to sit there?
I'll clear a spot.
Use that underwear and clean a spot.
I'm not touching it. There's been a lot of things that's, a lot of distractions, a lot of things that try to pull me away from Him. But it's like He's the good shepherd. He always gets me back on track. And it is truly amazing. I can sit here and say that I have a relationship with my Creator. That I cry out to Him, I pray to Him. It's just this last time, I've struggled with Suboxones. I struggled with probably about every drug you can possibly think of. From meth to heroin to fentanyl to alcohol, acid, weed, anything and everything to try to keep me from feeling the way I was feeling inside, because I had no self-worth. I did not love myself. And God's showing me different. He's telling me I am, His child, and He does love me, and He's not going to let me, He ain't going to let my body see the grave and sorrow. I've been on Suboxones for quite some time, and this is towards the end. I was done with all the drugs, and I keep seeking His face in all that I do. But I came to a point, it was on my heart that I'm done, and also the NA and AA rooms, they've helped me out, I see the Lord working in those rooms just as much as I see Him working in the church. He's just always there for me. He's putting people in my life to actually encourage me and help me. But there's also those other people in my life that they ain't for you, they're against you. Finally, I got some discernment with me to know that who I can trust and who I can't trust. When I came off of Suboxones, I tried 3 times to fully get off of them. I went through Woodhaven twice, and I went through Lemire, and they would taper you down and to little pieces at the end. It's just a 10-day taper. And every time I get down that 10th day, I would tuck my tail and run. That dope sickness, I don't like it. I'm a big man, baby. And it's just, I had it on my heart. That's what I was trying to do. I just couldn't do it. And finally, the third time I came out to rehab, I got into sober living, and the doctor put me on the Suboxones, and he said, they saved my life. And I'm like, well, no, they didn't. I know who saved my life. But he said I should be on for the rest of my life. Well, also I know what God told me, that he was trying to let me experience joy, but that drug was kind of like putting something in my brain from keeping me to experience the joy that he was trying to give me. And it came to a point that I just, but I prayed up. I told him, hey, I tried. I really tried. I just couldn't do it. Like I said, I cried out to God and told him I tried. It was in my heart to get off of them, because in my mind, if I can't make it through a day, without God, then or with God, or how should I say that? I might have to pause.
No, you're good.
But I think like everything else, I was living in fear. I knew if I didn't have the Suboxones, that I would be sick, and I didn't want to live that way. And like I said, I just wanted God. I just wanted God to direct my way, and Him be my provider. And although I tried and tried, finally, is one morning I had woken up, and the Lord came to me with His signs and wonders, and He told me to take a step of faith in His way, and He would make everything happen for me. I really wasn't for sure if I was actually seeing things correctly, if I was making these things up in my head. So I was kind of hesitant to pull the trigger. But then it all happened again. It was that confirmation. So I knew, in fact, it was God talking to me. And so I took my whole prescription, and I went and I flushed it down the drain. And yeah, I was kind of scared, but the way I was looking at it was like, well, God believes in me, well, I believe in Him. So I took that step of faith, and it was kind of like in my heart, it was like I was Peter stepping out on that ocean. And one day went to 2 day, went to 3 day, went to 4 day, went to 5 day. I wasn't sick, which was crazy, amazing. But during that time, it was like I had to fixate my mind on Christ. And like you said, He was walking me, and it felt like I was walking on the ocean. So it's like He opened up the sea and walked me right through the sickness. Ever since then, I hadn't turned back to it. It says in the Bible, it says, if they would just turn to me, I can heal them. And that's what I did. I turned my heart to Him, and He's just not even, He's healed me from my addiction, but through my depression, my anxiety, my PTSD, everything. He's taken everything away. I'm back to, I feel freedom. I mean, I still struggle, with some of the past, like insecurities and, it's all self-esteem. But ultimately, I know God's with me. And I know I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Today, I work at a sober living. I help out other guys that are in recovery. I take the same principles that what God has shown me, because I've, never had anybody like mentors or anything like that to show me these kind of characteristics. But, I'm patient with them. I practice, I'm faithful. Like the way He was faithful with me, and how He's patient with me, and the mercy, and not to judge nobody when they fall or they slip, to just, encourage them to get back up and keep trying. Life is a test and trust, you know what I mean? And for once, I'm actually passing the test, I feel like. I got my house, I got a house, I got a car, I got all my kids back in my life. My life is awesome. Like, he's restored everything back to me. You know, he put a new song in my mouth. You know, he put a song of redemption, a song of salvation, and forever in his debt. Like, you know, each and every day I wake up, I give him the first portion of that day to him. Like, you know what I mean? I prayer, I keep gospel music in my ears. I watch the things that I consume on a daily, because the saying is, you are what you eat. So I make sure I feed my spirit, not so much my flesh. And it's working for me. I'm celebrating a year of sobriety. This is the longest I've ever been sober. Sitting here in front of the Dream Center, since turned my heart all the way over to God and putting it on the plate, letting him operate, as I say. He has just done so many good things for me. I've been baptized, been emergent baptism. I'm all the way in. You know what I mean? He showed me enough that each and every day, like I said, I surrender my heart to him. Lord told me a couple years ago that he came to me one time and said he was about to restore all Dayton. And, I was like, at the time, I was like, I don't see how that's even remotely possible. But as I'm, walking with the Lord and I'm seeing things unfold, and now this is, with the Dream Center, I mean, I can see it. Like, I can actually see the vision now. And I got a heart for everyone that is out there struggling. I know what it's like. I feel your pain, and I'm willing to walk with you. I just, Lord's put it on my heart to and I'm kind of cut for this. I'm kind of cut to this is my type of people. So I got big hopes for the Dream Center. I really think it's going to do a lot of great things here in the city of Dayton. Yeah, the Dream Center is just pretty much just like the symbol of my life, that he takes the broken things and fixes it up from within. You know what I mean? He takes the ashes and turns them into glory. You got another woman.
Yeah, I heard you was doing good and stuff.
Yeah, over a year clean.
Good stuff. Where you go?
I can get you sober living if you want.
Where do you go? Who'd you go to?
Well, I went through, a couple rehabs, but eventually I came here. So you call her name's Ashley. You run a sober living. And you got a girl's like, you got room for it, didn't you? But get you in, just work with you and get you back on track.
That's what I need to do. So it's like every time I turn around, it's like I hit that wall, so it's like something keeping me from it.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out why. Like, why wouldn't the forces or whatever, God or whatever's out there, why wouldn't they want me to get clean? Why is there always something?
Well, that car's a start, you know what I mean? First, got to get you out the neighborhood. I mean, we got our sober livings on the west side. So get you out of this environment first, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, you're putting yourself around people that they can't be trusted.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was doing good. I paid off my reinstatement fee. I had a job, working at Red Roof Inn, and I was doing good for a little while, and just can't get away from it. You know what I mean? I can't get away from it, no matter where I turn. So yeah, I gotta get away from over here.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about going back to Troy just to get away from the east side. Can't be over here. I just can't. I don't want to be. I can't. I don't want to do this no more. I'm just
Ready for
tired.
something different, right? Well, like I don't think it's by chance that you just came across me doing this. There's no, I mean, you know I'm a man of God. You know I love
I was just actually curious why there was people sitting down here.
Let me tell you, we've been driving around trying to find a spot, and we came back to where we started.
Yeah.
So it ain't by chance.
Nothing by chance.
Yeah, because I was actually going that way, and for some reason I cut around the alley and came all the way back around to come this way just to see what was down here and what you guys were doing. I'm just that nosy. So.
Well, the forces seem to be trying to shift it in your favor now.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I'm telling you, like I did got my heart. He made everything happen for me. I got a house, car, all my kids back in my life, like everything.
That's awesome.
Like everything. And
That's
I work for a sober living. Like there's no way I could have done this with, you know what I mean? If I could have done it, I would have did it.
Right.
I was like you. I was just done.
I'm so done.
Here, I'll ask what just happened right there. I mean, people are going to see what just happened there, a little bit of it at least.
Back within my addiction, towards the end, I was staying in some trap houses over down here on the east end, and there's a lot of prostitutes there, a lot of, you know, just a lot of addicts all up under one roof, and you know. You still bond with people, you know what I mean? Even in addiction, you still bond with them. And I was just blessed a couple times that, you know, I still had that love of the Lord on my heart, even in the midst of addiction. Some people would be like, you're like the biggest hypocrite. Like, you know, maybe so. But I can tell you this much, like, I always gave them, always, testified, no matter where I was at, I always testified. And I told people, exactly, what had happened to me. And it's very important, like, that when you get in that low stage or that low state in your heart, to where you're about to get suicidal, man, if I can at least tell somebody, that one last effort, if you tried everything you could possibly do, nothing's helped, to get down on them knees and cry out to God, and did what I did, and He will always hold on to you. He'll get you to the finish line.